you have it, you have it, you have it. Do you have it? Too fast. Do you have it? Too fast. One moment, please. One moment.
Others, I speak with a passion that goes unheard. They obey you because you are a leader. And perhaps with others, I speak with a passion.
Episode 4 Raid Buff. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in.
Super thanks. You're here. It sounds like an AM radio show now. But I'm Akia.
I'm Tannison.
And I kind of do wish we had an AM radio show. That'd be kind of
fun. Yeah. I think we would have plenty to talk about. And if that was our job, that'd be great.
To just chit-chat all day,
yeah.
Pretty much what we do now, but not being recorded.
Yeah. Oh man, that sounds good. So we got a lot for you here today. Well, we'll see.
In our minds, there's a lot. Okay, so I think we usually start with the update for how the game's going. Vampire Janitor, that is the name of the game.
Name of the game, and we've got some stuff that we have been working on for it. So, what did we set for goals? Like a whole prototype and...
Yeah, level 1 prototype, I think you said, or maybe pre-level 1 tutorial prototype.
Yeah, something like that. So... Long story short, that's not completed, but I am working towards it. It was a bold goal, to be honest. So, but I did start working on the tutorial level room as far as the art goes. I found a nice pixel art program called Pixel Studio on the iPad. So that's been working out okay. Hopefully they don't require a subscription after a while or something. But yeah, so got that going. I made a sound asset, so just got to put some pieces together and ultimately have the correct assets and sprites and stuff. So a lot of art needs to go into this level 1 prototype, which I just haven't put as much time to it as it requires, but I know I can do it.
Yeah. We've had a lot going on, so I've been trying to mostly work on the marketing things, which is super fun. I get off of work from doing marketing and I turn around and do almost the same duplicate tasks but for different brands. So the biggest frustration though has been dealing with Libsyn, getting everything connected. Their knowledge base is so woefully inaccurate, or maybe just omits a lot of steps that you really do need to do. So that's been incredibly frustrating, and I don't want to upgrade our subscription there just to try and get access to more tools. If it's not going to work on the most base level subscription, I'm just really not confident that it's going to work at higher levels. And for a few days, which is even crazy that the problem lasted a few days, their help was responding to me over email, and then one day they just sent me an email that said, "So your issue has been resolved. How did it go?" And I was like, "Bro, it hasn't been resolved at all. I'm still trying to get this connected. You're not connecting to SoundCloud. I have zero idea why you won't. Nothing online tells me from your guys' stuff. Nothing I even search on Reddit is really not helpful." So that's just been a huge pain in the keister, but it just makes it even more apparent how bad they are at helping me when I reach out to Apple Podcast for help, and they literally helped me within the first email with just I don't know what they did from their side, push new URLs live or something. I'm not even really sure, but I know that I told them that I had a problem and they fixed it right away. And then there was no more issues. So it's just frustrating. I'm frustrated. So
this kind of came out of nowhere too, because you didn't really expect it to be a problem.
Yeah, there shouldn't really be a problem with connecting profiles. That's such a common API. nowadays that to connect different tools that I just didn't think that it was going to be an issue, but it's turned into like a whole thing.
Yeah, you had to go in and like make a manual YouTube thing or something like that.
Yeah, the YouTube, that's humming along pretty nicely now, but that was another issue of like their knowledge base really not being complete. So fun. I did edit a YouTube short, the video portion. I just have to add your vocals to the track. So YouTube short coming along shortly.
Very nice.
But I feel like the reason we really have not accomplished that much since the last time we recorded, and we're even releasing this podcast late, is because we've had freaking mice infestation.
Yeah, so progress has been completely stalled in some days because we hear a little skirtering of mice. And
You saw several.
yeah, so I mean, the first one we saw, we were just chilling in bed in our bedroom watching TV, and I see a giant blob moving in the corner of my eye, and it goes under the bathroom door. And I freaked out.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was a freak out.
I saw I caught the eye of its tail and it looked like a leg. And I was like, that's a freaking huge spider.
Yeah.
I literally thought it was a spider. So I'm going in like the closet in the bathroom, like scared I'm going to be pounced on by like a freaking wolf spider.
Oh my god.
It was ginormous. But then, I see it after poking around in the closet. And a little mouse scurries around, and I'm like, ah! And so,
yeah.
unbravely, I run out of there. I'm like, holy
running around to get a pole to like move things around.
We don't have anything.
Looking for like spider killer, because we actually had a problem with spiders before at this apartment. So it's like we're freaking going through the 7 plagues.
No,
because we've also been really sick. So it's like. And I'm the firstborn, not the firstborn son, thankfully. Hopefully,
I'm
the
the firstborn
plagues
son.
are still gendered because I don't want to be taken. Oh my gosh, you are!
I'm the firstborn son.
Oh snap! I guess it's
Oh
gotta be one
my
of us.
gosh! Wow, yeah. So it got worse from there too, because we killed the first rat or mouse. Sorry for those of you who.
The Orkin man was like very specific that it was a mouse and not a rat, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know how that matters right now.
Yeah, I mean, we had a slew of traps for the first one, and we had some live catch ones for those of you who are sad that I said we killed a mouse, but it ended up getting in the not live trap one.
The first one, I don't think the live catch ones are better, honestly, because when there were 2 that were caught in the live catch one, the guy said that it was they were cannibalizing each other. So how is that even better?
It's pretty horrifying.
Nature finds a way.
I mean, here's the thing though, is like, before we get to multiple, like the pest guy comes in and he says, I think you solved your problem. And,
yeah, he did. Very misleading.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that one probably just ran in, and he's like, do you keep the doors open? And we're like, no, we don't keep the doors open. Like, why would we keep our doors open?
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty aware when the doors open, I would have probably seen a mouse come in.
But he convinced us that we just left the door open too long and it just scurried in. So we thought, oh, just one, that'll be fine.
Oh man, we had a sense of relief. We were so happy.
Comfort.
I think we went to Red Robin to
celebrate the stress of the day. Let's get
just
some Flux and
decompress.
fries. Yeah.
It was so good though. That slapped. I got a queso burger. It was
that was really, really good actually. So
I'm digressing, but
that's how high we were riding after that day
we
of killing that one mouse. We don't have to deal with this anymore. Wrong.
Okay, this dude, the pest guy, left 2 live trap ones that hold 15 mice each, if it comes to that. And we're like, oh yeah, well, let's just sit there,
sure,
no problem. Lo and behold, a couple days later, I think, another freaking mouse goes into it, and I pick up the trap and look inside. I'm like, that is a mouse. We have a mouse problem. My God, I was so grossed out. And then, as you said, a second one goes in there. That's when they start making noise. They're trying to escape the trap. And then
their little tiny claws on the metal cage.
Yep. And then a little bit after that, the pest guy comes back and he's like, okay, we need to investigate this. So he opens some cupboards and he looks behind our dishwasher and our fridge. And it is one of the grossest scenes I've ever seen in my life. It's just like loads of, I'm sorry if you're listening and you're grossed out, but like loads of mice poop.
Yeah. And he said that a well-fed mouse will poop 80 to 90 times a day.
Oh my gosh.
That's just a lot of poop.
Yeah, that's a ton. And it reflects in that. And so he discovered 2 holes in the back of our kitchen wall, like behind the cabinets, where they're definitely coming in. He discovered green poop and an old trap. So he basically, to summarize, said, this was a problem in the tenants before you moved in, and they tried to fix it with poison.
And we can tell because the poop is green. Yeah. It's poisoned poop. And
so we moved into basically an infested apartment.
Yeah, we actually moved into the rat's apartment.
Yeah.
So we just went invading their space.
And so it's pretty horrifying, to be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty horrifying. And also infuriating.
Last night, I heard another one behind the fridge. I tried to see if it was in the traps. Nope, it was definitely behind the fridge. It's just, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. And, yeah, I mean, now with short notice, thankfully, the apartment complex, instead of like fixing it while we're here, they want to move us out.
Yeah, because the Orkin guy said, well, you need to plug up these holes so you start getting mice in your apartment, which makes sense. But the apartment complex is like, also another part to the story that we haven't mentioned, they're teenage mice or adolescent mice, he said.
Yeah.
So there's a pregnant mouse somewhere running around here.
Which could be like 12 to 15.
There's other clutch mates.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they're called a clutch. I think I'm just thinking of dragons, but
I don't know. At this point, terminology doesn't matter. I'm just horrified.
So true. Oh.
But so they're like, we don't want to plug the walls while you live there because there might be mice in the walls, and that would cause dead mice,
which would just stink up the whole place. Yeah.
So, long story short, we're moving on short notice to a different unit, a way nicer unit, but
way nicer.
But I think we're underestimating probably how much we have to move because we haven't really packed a ton.
Packed my clothes.
We're moving on Saturday, and it's currently Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a long day. But you got to do what you got to do. We're out of here.
I don't want to room with mice.
Never been more motivated to move out as quickly as possible, so I think that'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, what a week. So that pretty much like ruined any progress that we were hoping to have over the last week, because essentially right as we were releasing the last episode, we discovered the mice. So
yeah, and it's really hard for me to focus. Maybe this is an excuse, but like last night I was on, the computer trying to work on the game, and all I hear was the of this freaking mouse in our house, and I was like, I can't focus, so I had to get out of there. So that's just an example of why this has been a little slower than we had anticipated.
Yeah.
I've never had mice. I've never really had a pest problem besides maybe spiders.
Yeah, like other kind of bugs, but really never mice, and certainly like never multiple persistent large pests. It's just disgusting. So glad we're moving, and also glad we found time to record another episode.
Yeah.
The last episode, it's really funny, honestly, looking at the stats for our episodes, because the first 2 are like have a couple listens, and then Go Team Zalatath's Feet comes out, and it literally skyrockets the amount of listens that we get. And I just have to imagine that it's the search engine optimization for Zalatath's freaking feet.
We slayed it on that.
But like, I don't know.
I find it humorous, to be honest.
Sure, humorous that so many people are probably searching for Zalatath's feet, and then, but when they come to the podcast, are they hoping to hear about how sexy those feet are, or are they hoping to hear about how weird it is that the feet are featured so much. Like,
Yeah,
what
that's
do,
true.
What do people want from that kind of search?
I don't think we talked about those till like mid-podcast. So if you're searching for our feet conversation, like you have
you're
to
just
have
like
listened,
scrubbing all the way through until you get to the feet part. I don't know.
But we
That's
appreciate
really interesting.
we appreciate you tuning in, though. So
Sure.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we probably won't have another feet-focused episode for a pretty good while, unless Blizz does.
No,
something
it
like
depends on
absolutely
Blizzard.
nuts.
Yeah,
if the ball's in their court, pretty much.
yeah. I mean, they could start doing Alex Strauss's feet next, and oof, that'll be a whole episode.
We'll have a whole month. Yeah.
Oh,
That
man.
would be insane.
So we have now officially passed Halloween.
Yep, spooky season is
It's
done.
over. It's
gone.
done. But we're in my opinion, a better season.
Cozy
we're coming
season.
up to cozy and
Yeah.
Christmas. We are sitting with cold weather,
Yep,
and I couldn't be happier, really.
because it was
I
such
got
a
tons of
long
sweatshirts I'm so
summer.
excited to wear.
It was a long summer
It was very long.
and hot.
Very long and hot, I agree. But our Halloween experience, though, it got me questioning, Halloween over?
Halloween
is
might
the,
be done.
the normal like way of trick-or-treating and celebrating, is that just done?
I mean, I wasn't like staring out the window, but I didn't see any trick-or-treaters.
None.
I didn't see a single one.
Well, we did go on a walk
Mhm.
in our costumes, which probably was laughable for a lot of people because we were the only people out there.
Just for so many blocks, because we wanted to make sure we got in like half hour, 45 minutes, of the movement that you're supposed to get in a day.
Yeah.
And for that amount of time to be the only people outside in costumes when it was like past 4, it was probably past 4:30.
It was closer to 6 at that time, probably.
It was just so odd. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind walking around in a costume. I'll
But
do it every day. But like,
it was not completely lost. There was like a group of teenagers that came out in costumes, like
yeah, to take selfies outside
Yeah.
though.
yeah. So I mean, my theory probably Halloween is like Halloween parties and
Yeah, it's for adults.
I mean for kids we had like a tail
Trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably taken over too. A lot safer.
Way
Most likely.
safer, yeah. And a lot less walking, TBH.
Yeah. But not as fun. Not as fun.
No.
I look back at trick or treating and it was great.
Yeah.
Especially when you got old enough where you could go by yourself with your friends and not with
Yeah,
parents.
where your
like,
parents weren't like,
Yeah.
they would try to keep up, but they just walk so slow because they're just not motivated.
You map out a path and like you hear where you get you see other trick or treaters and they're like, oh, you get big candy bars at this house.
Yeah.
And then you like beeline it over there. For us, it would be like, oh, we're all out of the big ones. I'm like, dang it.
But now I've heard, this is what people on Reddit are saying, because I kind of looked into this, like, what the heck happened to Halloween? Is people are saying that kids are going to the popular neighborhoods. They're being driven by their parents to the popular neighborhoods for candy. But I don't really know if I buy that for our situation, because I feel like we are in the popular neighborhood.
Yeah, the neighborhoods that we're around is prime for...
Yeah, these are super
Trick-or-treating.
nice houses. How are they?
Yeah, they're really nice houses, but you know what? And not just exclusive to this Halloween time, the neighborhood's so, like, dead. Like,
That's true.
you never see any movement out there. Maybe, like,
No.
one car coming and going.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody just probably works from home in these places, and they don't bother to, like, decorate or anything. I
They
don't know.
definitely didn't bother to decorate much. Maybe, like, a couple houses.
Yeah.
I mean, we only put a pumpkin out, so maybe we're part of the problem. It's
I
not
mean,
like
that's
we
true.
decorated.
We had wanted to go to a pumpkin patch, but we never did. So the question is, is Halloween dead or are we?
Are we dead? Ooh.
But yeah, it was a little disappointing to be
Yeah.
honest. I was hoping that our kid could see some other
Get some of that
kids.
spooky season magic.
Yeah, but
that didn't happen.
oh well, Christmas is more fun anyway,
I mean,
in my opinion.
I love Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're much more food focused. Halloween, or much more food forward holidays. So that's why I love them. And then I just really, really, really love love the movies of Christmas time.
Oh, the movies. I like the music. I got a nice playlist I'm ready to hit play on.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be so lovely. And then we're, moving into a new apartment during this time, so prime opportunity to decorate.
And perfect shopping season. I don't buy all the deals that they say are deals. Like, I don't buy them as in, like, I don't believe that they're deals. But this is really one of the best times to shop for me because so many people are trying to make sure they end up in the black for this fiscal and quarterly year that I just take advantage of all those
You're happy to help them.
Prices. Oh, yeah. So it's just a great shopping.
That's one thing about this lady. She loves shopping.
Gets the blood boiling.
You've taught me a thing or two about shopping, though. Like, I enjoy it a little bit now.
Yeah.
As well.
It is a joy.
I went crazy on the summer Steam sale. I just saw Age of Mythology Retold is on sale. I'm like, man,
right now?
Pick that up. Yeah, I think it's like $22, but yeah.
That's not bad.
I'll pick that up.
I thought you were talking about your last spree on Steam because I don't even know if you played all of those games. About.
I have officially played all of them, at least for 5 minutes. But I bought 10 to 12 games for that summer sale. That was fun. That was like Christmas for me.
Is that when you bought No Man's Sky?
Yes.
Is that when I started playing that? That's a fantastic game. Love that.
Very
probably
cool.
Play it endlessly. I mean,
if we had time,
could literally play it endlessly if we had time because it's like a massive universe.
Yeah, I just need more time to play these games, but now we're making a game,
time,
so
that's life for you.
Speaking of like time in a game, like you recently resubscribed to WoW.
Well, thanks to you for buying me a subscription to WoW. So yeah, I'm back in it. Found the time. I got a free level boost. I don't know if it's spectrum stuff, like being on the spectrum, or like what else it could possibly be, my own scruples perhaps. But when I was looking at characters to level boost, I was thinking, well, we want to be both on the Horde, even though I know there might be some cross-faction things. It's just easier and safer to just be on the same faction. So my previous characters were Alliance that I've been working on in most recent years. So, but when you had restarted on Shadowlands, or was it Dragon Isles?
I got back into WoW for Shadowlands.
And that's when you switched to Horde?
No, actually I switched to Alliance because of you. I made a Draenei Mage.
That's what I'm asking. When did you switch back to Horde?
Probably War Within coming out, because in Dragonflight my main was still my Draenei Mage.
Okay.
Which I enjoyed, but like then I thought about it for a while. War Within, I was like, I gotta bring back my main from like the OG main, my Blood Elf Paladin Tennyson.
Yeah. And so I didn't want to switch factions because I had this level boost. But when I'm looking at the Horde races that I want to play and what they offer as far as classes, I honestly just ended up right back where I started. And I was like, I really only want to play a priest, and I only want to play on an elf. So, yeah, now I'm back. Nightborn elf. Shadow priest. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's it going?
I mean, it's great. Lots of cutscenes to start out with. I always love when they do cutscenes. Because I remember Angrathar, the Wrathgate, like that was my first true cutscene.
I didn't know it existed, and then boom, it just populated my screen.
Yeah, exactly. You just like complete your quest and your screen goes black and you're like, oh my gosh, DC again? But no.
Chills.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that they're still doing the cutscenes. What I've done so far, just because like since I've started playing, we've had trying to work on Vampire Janitor, trying to work on the pod, to talk about Vampire Janitor and other stuff that's going on with WoW, and then Mice City. I just have really not had a ton of time. Yeah, exactly. So I've gotten a little bit into the campaign, but I see what Blizz is trying to do. They're trying to give me that epic feel, that like massive events, big world, big things going on kind of situation. And I can tell they're trying to do that because every time I'm doing a quest, I'm going somewhere else across Azeroth to do it, or even outside of Azeroth to do it. But I don't know if it's succeeding really. Like even when you're like taking the portals across those like void portals that you're following Ilaria around on, they're porting Dalaran again to other places. Like I know we're moving around a lot, but I'm not getting that sense of big that I think they want me to have.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the campaign a little bit more, but I can attest to you having a point there because, I mean, I played the whole campaign, and when I got it on pre-release, and I played the whole campaign, and I was done, and I was like level 76, so not even max level with the campaign.
Oh,
so,
gee.
I mean, it really was not that hard to. It didn't take that long to finish it, but then like you get finished with it, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting story, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But the zones themselves for the War Within, like you could basically traverse every zone in like 2 minutes. Like you could go from Isle of Dorn to Ringing Deeps to Hollowfall to, I don't know the name, Azkabar or whatever, Azkadeth or whatever the Nerubian one is. But like, I mean, Blizz's goal seems to be these days to make it super convenient for players. Like even for Mythic dungeon people, they have like a portal room so you can just port to every dungeon. I know that's really convenient for those kind of scenarios, but like I'm an exploratory person.
Yeah.
The problem with the campaign for me was like it took you to bits and pieces of the zones, but like there's not much else to explore outside of that, you know, like the old way of questing. And I don't want to like clutch onto the past, but like Burning Crusade, Lich King, you know, obviously classic WoW, like you had to kind of explore to continue the story.
All over that map.
Yeah. And the zones were vast.
Just getting out of Hellfire Peninsula was like a situation.
I mean, we're in a situation now where like dragon riding, you can fly at like the speed of light in the game. That is the prime opportunity to make vast zones. Like, yeah. Give us another Barrens.
They could go Red Dead with it and like just have it be like a giant sprawl. Exactly.
But, you know, I don't mind the story. The zones themselves, like, even though they're kind of small, easy to traverse, like, they're nice. They're really well designed.
Yeah.
I've got no complaints about that. The Isle of Dorn has great music, great aesthetic, and then, you know, the Ringing Deeps is exactly what it sounds like. And then Hollowfall is a fan favorite amongst the WoW community because it's just so creative. And Hollowfall's cool. I like the aesthetic, but I don't love like the Kobus. I think they're like undead, like fish people.
Ugh,
it's
undead fish.
I mean, we've explored so many underwater zones throughout WoW. Why do they insist on doing it more? Then you go to Delves, and some of them are underwater, and I'm just like, when are we ever gonna learn that we don't like underwater stuff?
Never, probably, because otherwise they don't have any more ideas, I guess, for other types of topography or like environments. Which, like, why can't we
have to go like outside the box? Like, we love Grizzly Hills. Guess how basic that place is?
Trees. Yeah.
Howling Fjord. Like, it's not that hard, you know. But I did reflect on that actually, because in Battle for Azeroth on the Alliance side, they definitely embraced the fact that like these are just normal zones.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like that's a good example of just like these are just like the sound or Tiersguard sound or a mountain, and you know. So I like that, but yeah,
maybe the designers get a little bored. They're like, oh, drew another flower.
You know, I mean, it's maybe personal preference too. I'm more of a low fantasy person. Like, I don't want something spectacular, like, that's like, I don't know, a giant crystal that's shining the light. Like, it looks good. I don't mind it, but like, I'm more of a basic guy. Like, give me like fields and mountains and rivers and like normal, like topographic, like geographic landmarks that I can like be like, oh, okay, we're in a normal world.
See, I don't mind the stuff that gets really crazy. Like, I mean, I liked the Nether Storm. I like zones that are just super, super different. But I just think they need to be better utilized a little bit is how I'm feeling. One recent one from a previous expansion that like I just really hated, even though I thought it was such like a cool idea, but it just like the execution was incredibly tedious. Was Zuldrak, the
oh my gosh!
It just was like
I can't ever redo the Horde side of battle for Azeroth.
Exactly.
It's
too much. It's like,
oh wait, no, I'm talking about Zuldazar.
Zuldazar. All the Zuls, I really do get them mixed up.
Zuldrak, that's the one in Lich King, right? The one that's just like a giant temple.
Like, and there's all the like
layers. That one's a pain too.
That was a pain,
but it was a good aesthetic though. I like that.
All the pustules everywhere was fantastic. But what year's Zuldazar?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. The one from Battle for Azeroth. It was just like the giant pyramid, all the steps, like running. The map was also really hard to navigate because I didn't know when I was on the right or wrong level to get to something. That was really annoying. Just the whole
thing. Doing it the first time without flying, it takes forever.
Exactly.
But I mean, it was aesthetically pleasing to the eye, though. It just was confusing.
Good concept, bad execution.
Yeah.
And when I compare it to what the like wide-hipped humans are doing over Borealis, it just is. It's not good. And maybe also because I really love the whole sea theme and the sailors and all that.
Yeah.
But it was really jarring to go between the two, and I didn't like it. So I'll take something massively different as long as we're going to utilize the environment in a way that is a user-friendly experience. But not so much as what you're saying is like, okay, now it takes me 1 second to get anywhere. Like, that's too friendly. That's like a little too easy.
I mean, let's not forget, like, we're in an RPG. Like, we want to roleplay as adventurers, not like super time traveler wizard. I don't know what to describe, but
maybe everyone doesn't want RP though. Maybe a lot of people they found just want it to be easy to get to and from.
But I think a lot of people like RPing because that's basically the whole thing behind Transmog and Mount Collection.
That's
right?
True.
You want to immerse yourself in the world and like create the look of the character, but like, what do you do with that? You don't spend any time traveling and like looking at yourself while you're running on the path. No, you're just like teleporting from dungeon to dungeon, seeing numbers on the screen because you're just doing damage the whole time. Like, I don't know. I mean, we all play the game a little bit differently. That's okay, but I just am a little sad that we don't really get the whiteout zones. Although I will say Dragonflight had, I don't even remember, it was the plains, and that was pretty wide open. It was basically like a plains with some oases, yeah.
Maybe?
And so that was a good effort on that, so I did appreciate it. But speaking of just a little bit more on WoW is the 20th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it a little last week.
They've got a whole event and started collecting tokens. I've got 3 armor sets.
Yeah, they decided that they were making people suffer too much trying to get all those tokens. So they're like, all right, we went a bit overboard.
I do appreciate that because I'm not somebody who's going to put a group together to go to Black Rock Depths Like that,
BRB.
it'd be fun, but like I don't have that kind of time. So
Yeah.
I was able to get the Paladin set, and I got the Warlock set, and I ended up.
Oh my
I
goodness,
think-
you're really trucking along through those sets.
Yeah, I think the third one I got was the Death Knight one.
If they didn't make this change, how many sets do you think you would have?
I would only have one.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
sad.
Which, I mean, the ultimate goal was the Paladin set, so
Yeah.
I'd be still pretty
Now
satisfied.
you're just
But
collecting them for funsies.
yeah. Yeah, that's going pretty good.
They did release a new zone.
Yeah, the Siren Islands.
Yeah,
or-
something like Siren something.
It looks cool. It looks kind of like the what do you call it? I don't know. Badlands in the real life, but like Thunder Mountain Railroad for Disney.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the aesthetic is. And I don't hate that. I think that's cool.
Does that... I'm just trying to like square in my mind when I think of Siren Isles. I don't really think of Thunder Mountain Disney. So I get it, like these are people who have like, probably crashed ashore and like
No,
No?
the storyline is it was an Azurite deposit
Oh,
that's abandoned.
yeah,
But herein lies the problem. Azurite wasn't introduced till Battle for Azeroth because Sargeras' sword in Azeroth. Like that's
but
when
they're trying to say that
but
the
it's like
people
been
of
abandoned
Borealis,
forever.
yeah.
There's skeletons everywhere. It doesn't make sense as far as timeline goes for me, but
Yeah, unless I just majorly missed something and there's just been Azurite all along and I just like completely glazed over it in my mind.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I only knew about it from Battle for Azeroth, which I didn't even play that expansion, so. And then we've been seeing some YouTube videos that are WoW related, and they're like AI generated for zones.
Oh yeah, I actually think the AI generated videos are a little bit better than some things that we've been seeing from WoW. Like I'm more excited when I see a new AI generated video than I see a YouTube video release from
They're
World of
cool.
Warcraft's account.
I do not mind the use of AI to create like realistic looking images of my favorite game. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think they're doing a pretty
Some
good
of them
job.
are better than others.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely like a hierarchy of who's doing it really well. And I've looked through their comments, through the video descriptions. People are not saying what tools they're using. They're being really guarding of what they're using to whatever prompt engine they're using to get what they're doing. But
once we figure that out, we have basically the capabilities to make some cutscenes for the game even. Probably.
Exactly. That's why I want to know.
I don't want to do that manually.
Because there would be almost no way. Like the ones that we've watched,
we would have
for
to
like,
hire someone.
Yeah, it would take forever. Like the ones we've seen for Tears Fall, that was pretty fantastic. The Teldrassil one is one of my favorites, probably.
They did a good job with that.
They did.
Elwyn Forest.
Yeah. So just I think if you're looking for the videos, I think Game Morph AI is one. Your boy Tyler, he makes some. That's the account name. I'm just saying, go check them out. They're pretty great.
And like outside, it goes beyond WoW. Like there's a Pokemon one that's like a documentary.
I've been watching the Pokemon ones so much. One, because I love Pokemon, but two, because they do like David Attenborough style documentaries for the Pokemon, which is just like, how did I not know that this is what I've always wanted from Pokemon?
That must be pretty satisfying.
Incredibly so. Like the
now
first
they just
one,
got to do with Yu-Gi-Oh.
What are they gonna do with Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't know. Sometimes they go into like these virtual worlds in the show, and like,
oh my gosh,
and like they're hanging
Shadow
out with
Realm.
their monsters.
Sounds like Digimon, honestly.
It's better. I've been playing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh again on the Steam Deck, and
you get sucked in when you start playing again.
And then I'm like, and then I get beat by like sitting there for 10 minutes because like it takes forever, and I'm like, this game's stupid. I'm never playing again. Yeah, that'll probably come up again. I mean, that's as far as we got for the notes, but I mean, there's some other topics going on right now, like we could explore.
Like what?
The NFL season's pretty nuts.
To say the least / to put it mildly, to like that's not even the whole story. This draft class of quarterbacks is kind of like so super hit or miss. Even
the new ones,
yeah,
like Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, and
Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy is now a non-factor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hit or miss. The only one who's like probably just sitting comfortably is Michael Penix, freaking doing nothing.
I would be so interested to see him take the field, though, because he was really good in college. But, I mean, they're doing pretty well down there in Atlanta with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they're okay.
He's not even needed, so he just gets to, like, go to games in his cool little outfits.
But listen, I was never a Jaden Daniels fan in college, and I thought he didn't really rightfully get the Heisman because he was for an 8-4 LSU team that was, like, kind of tough to watch at sometimes. But I got to say, in the NFL, Jaden Daniels, he's doing it. He's pretty good.
Really good. But what's come out is that the Commanders are running a very simple system, very college-like plays, and Caleb Williams is not in a system that's doing that. And even Caleb Williams' dad, for whatever freaking reason, is praising the Commanders and then, I mean, tweet and delete, whatever, but like...
But, I mean, we heard a Tom Brady interview. He was talking about that. He was like, quarterbacks, a lot of it has to do with what system you're going into because, like he said, in the end, it is the quarterback's decision to decide if the play that was called is good or not based on the defensive look they have.
Right.
So it's their responsibility to change the play, change routes, all that sort of stuff to make it work. So, like, that's not an excuse for Caleb Williams exactly. But then you go look at Jaden Daniels with Cliff Kingsbury and all that scheme and everything, the easy college offense that they got. Like, that was just a system that's working. Bo Nix, he's got a great coach in Sean Payton, so like he's doing decent. They got destroyed by the Ravens.
But the Ravens are a pretty good team this year. As much as I really hate to say that, they're a pretty good team.
Lamar Jackson
Henry
has better numbers than his MVP seasons, so he's probably going to win it again.
Oh, kill me!
I think. I don't know if he has the sauce in the playoffs, but like regular season, he's balling. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers back in the day.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess that's pretty apt.
Because he didn't throw interceptions, but like, what else did he have? Then it comes to postseason, he loses, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you get when you pick a regular season MVP is someone who's really good until it counts. Until it super really counts.
And people are doubting Mahomes right now because he's having an underperforming season. But like, who would you rather have on your team?
I mean, me, Mahomes, but like I just have like a forever vendetta against the Ravens, I guess. And then we move to Baltimore and I have to go to all of their games because how else are we going to see?
We're wearing the other team's colors.
Like when we went to the Cardinals, we've gone to a Cardinals game. They're playing the Chiefs. Pretty much, I'm not going to say 100%. I'll say 75% of people were wearing Chiefs gear in the Cardinals stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost convinced everybody's from the Midwest at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. Chiefs are undefeated. My Seahawks are having a rough go at it. I think they've lost like 5 straight or something like that. It's pretty bad. I'm a little bit over the Geno Smith thing. Like, I used to root for him, and I think he's pretty good, but like, he's just not it. But
he was doing well
how it goes.
For a time. He could do well again. I wish they would have like an award where like most improved, most unimproved, back to most improved again. Maybe next year.
He just goes back and forth. He needs that motivation.
Yeah, he's got to be the underdog.
Yeah. Oh man, but it's been interesting to watch. Too many penalties this year.
Oh my gosh, there are so many flags from college to the NFL. It's
unwatchable sometimes.
We're pretty much just watching commercials.
Yeah, and you think you got a big play? Sorry.
Yeah.
The game's basically decided by the refs.
Yeah, especially if you're in Miami and you really need that call from the commissioner.
They got the refs in the pocketbook, man, because they should have lost that Virginia Tech game. That's for sure.
So foolish of them. Like, if they do make it far into the playoffs, which I do not foresee them doing, it will hang over their whole season. Like, it'll always be like a asterisk kind of game. Asterisk.
I mean, I don't think it'll hang over their whole season because they got what they wanted. So they're like, yeah, it was a win. What are you talking about? People have already forgotten about it.
I haven't forgotten about it.
They're not an undefeated team. They're an undefeated team with an asterisk.
Yeah. It just kind of reminds me that Miami, they'll always be cheaters. They're just going to always cheat.
I mean, for who, though? Nobody goes to their games.
That's so true. Miami fans are the worst in every sport.
Yeah. Even in the NFL, the stadium's empty.
Yeah.
I wonder how much tickets are.
Probably not cheap either because...
it's Miami.
Yeah.
It's Miami, baby.
Oh.
Anime.
So, to talk about something cool, we've been trying to watch... Well, you've already seen Haikyuu. I wanted to start watching Haikyuu pretty much like a couple weeks after they've removed all of the English dubs from Netflix. It was like the biggest kick in the pants I think I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. And, before you get all crazy, you got to watch sub. Well, the Haikyuu English dub is unmatched. Like, best
the voice acting is unparalleled.
In an animated show, perhaps, of all time. Like, it's fantastic. And it's, I got to enjoy it back when it was on Netflix too, so it was an easy watch. And it's just so good, but it's like harder to find.
It's the hardest anime
the
for me to find the dub.
English dub than to find Golden River. Like, it's...
Because High Dive is playing their little games with ownership, and so... What I've had to do is just scour Amazon and eBay. And there are seasons of the show that go for like $100, $200 online. And I just kind of don't want to pay that because I just have faith in my very misguided heart that I will find it somewhere online again. But
we bought a couple though for like $40.
Yeah, so $40 to $50. I have bought a couple of the seasons. We have season 2, I think.
No,
you
have not seen season 2.
Okay, so we have season 3.
Season 3, yep,
and season 4 probably.
And season 4, yeah.
Yeah, so 1 and 2 have been the super hard ones to find, very very expensive.
But we discovered Crunchyroll has the English dub of the new movie.
Yes, because I set up a Google alert on my phone to people that I know do this for themselves for whenever their name pops up in a new Google search. I think that's really stupid and waste of time. So I set it up for when new anime comes out so I can get notified that a new Google search result for anime has been dropped. So got this Google alert that was like, Crunchyroll has the Dumpster movie in English dub.
And we watched it immediately.
And
it was
like,
so
babe,
good.
Come in here.
It was like, I could watch this all day long. It was so good.
We should watch it again.
Yeah, we should. They had a sequence at the end. I don't know. Should we spoil?
No, because it just came out and we just watched it, so give people
the
some
sequence
time,
at the end was Emmy worthy. I don't think it'll get any sort of award, but it was so good.
Such great directing. When you see those kind of sequences, it just changes how you look at what they're able to do with the genre.
Yeah, it's impressive, and I hope they continue to innovate like that. That's pretty great.
It's pretty fantastic. But after we got done watching the movie, super satisfying, we go to every single other entry of Haikyuu on Crunchyroll, and none of the English dubs.
It's either sub or dubbed in Espanol. Yeah. Yeah, just for, I'm curious what you got off the top of your head. What's your top 5 anime?
Well, you know that I'm not a ranker like you are. I don't sit around ranking things and saying, here's what the best is, here's what not, like, here's what didn't make the top 10. I just don't think about things in that way. I just enjoy or not enjoy them. But I can tell you, obviously, Attack on Titan is one of my favorites, maybe my favorite. Haikyuu, very close up there. So this list is probably not going to be in any specific order.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Attack on Titan, Haikyuu, Your Name, not a
oh my goodness,
show,
love
but
that movie.
Like that, I just love it so much. Vivi,
yeah, Vivi's great.
Love. Fluorite song.
That's good sci-fi, good animation, good music.
Love sci-fi, yeah. This is a really, really new one, but it just sticks with me so much. I think about it sometimes, and I really want to see where it goes to see if I can say that it's for sure my top 5. But like, I had a blast watching Blue Eye Samurai. And that's like super new, super like different arts. The art style is what really like made me pay attention at first.
The art style is what made me apprehensive at first, because I don't really like 3D anime, and we just continued to watch it, and it was like really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully that new season comes out soon.
It won't. I really do love it. And then, Naruto Shippuden, love in every kind of way. And
I was surprised you didn't put like Dragon Ball Z.
I was going to say and then I have to say Dragon Ball Z, probably specifically Kai, just because I love how they remastered it. But, I haven't seen Daima yet.
I got to finish that. We got to finish Naruto too.
Oh my gosh, not freaking Naruto, and then Brotherhood.
Brotherhood?
Full Metal Alchemist.
We got a lot of anime.
We have a lot of anime to finish, so we have to. But like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood gives me nightmares. Honestly, like the stuff that we've seen is so like it just worms its way into your brain with these topics, and then I go to sleep and I dream about like being morphed with a dog or something, or like just the very creepy, like mind-wormy stuff. That's all I can do. It's like mind worms for me that gives me nightmares, so I have to watch it very early in the day.
It's pretty messed up at some points.
Yeah, but it's so good. It's
very well done.
And I'm also pretty excited to watch Pluto, which has been really good so far.
Yeah, we watched 2 episodes.
2 or 3, yeah.
And so far, I'm like, wow, I did not expect it to be that good.
Yeah. Like, I love the detective aspect.
Clicking around, and there it is, and it's been very satisfying. So we got to finish that.
This is not anime, but it's something we finished recently because you'd never seen the Daredevil TV show that used to be from Netflix.
It's so good.
It's so good.
We just finished season 1, and when we start watching, we can't stop. We watch like 5 episodes at a time.
It's so good.
So, they just sometimes we were talking about this while we were watching, is that like you can just kind of tell when you're watching a good show or you're just like forcing yourself to get through a show. For example, when we used to watch Vikings a lot, love that show. That's a good show.
Yes.
Netflix comes out with Vikings Valhalla, and we felt obligated to watch it. Mm-hmm. And we did, and we just realized like this is not good.
No.
This is not a good show. So we actually stopped watching that. Similarly, and this might get some controversy, The Witcher on Netflix. Season 1 was pretty good. And then what are they on season 3 right now?
I honestly don't know. I assume season 3, but
it's bad.
I feel the same way that Henry Cavill feels. Like they don't respect the original works. They don't respect the game. They don't respect the writing. And so it's just hard to watch something where I've read articles where I think it's Cavill, maybe someone else from the production team, has said that the writers bragged about not reading the books.
Yeah, I don't know in what world that's acceptable. It's kind of like the new Star Wars writers.
Oh my gosh, so exactly. So when the new writers and obviously the producers are on board with it too, don't respect the original material that people fell in love with, why would I even bother to watch the show? And I'm not even going...
What is it, like ego that causes this? Like wanting to make your own stamp?
For sure it is, because writers are... They can be the worst, honestly.
But in this example, though, like, we had to, like... It was pulling teeth for us to get through an episode. We couldn't do it. But then, shifting back to Daredevil, we just start watching. It's just like, you can't stop watching. Yeah. It's so well written. It sticks to the, you say the...
Yes, the comics.
Original content.
Yes. And even the, like, use of that black suit is from a run of the Daredevil comics. So, like, so much of the show, even though they do add new parts, stays so faithful to what they originally did that it's just really enjoyable to watch from that perspective.
And this is from 2014 or something like that. Like,
it's from
this
a while
is not
ago.
A new show.
They're talking about people watching cat videos. Like, that's when someone makes a reference to people spending their time on the internet by watching cat videos. I know that it's an old show because I don't think maybe people still watch cat videos, but that's like, it's not a current saying anymore.
No, it's more just like TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more like people being idiots rather than cute animals.
And the internet itself and social media is so diversified in the amount of content that's put on there that I don't think there is a quote unquote cat videos for everyone to be watching now. Like,
they don't go viral as much anymore.
Yeah, or they go viral, but they go viral in their own spheres of their own fans. Like, they go viral on their parts of the internet, not across.
I'm sure my parents probably still watch cat videos.
Gosh, what a giant waste of time, but...
Oh, man. But, I mean, it may be old, but we love it. Daredevil is being great. We're going to move on to Punisher after that.
Now, there are some other ones in the same... obviously setting of New York, but like that Netflix also released that we probably just won't watch. One being Iron Fist, I'm sure that we won't watch. There's a big old team up show that of the characters, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. I'm sure we won't watch that one either, and including the team up. I wouldn't mind if we did eventually, after we finish a whole bunch of anime, that'll probably be better, watch the first season of Jessica Jones, because it has David Tennant as Purple Man, and he's just like he's just so good to watch. But that's like far down the road. It really does not need to be prioritized in any way, shape, or form.
But I mean, it brings up, I just thought of this, like the scope, the consequences of like the Daredevil thing we're watching is not like universal multiverse.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with Thanos or anything that came afterwards.
But then, like, you compare that to nowadays, like everything has such gigantic stakes.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Agatha all along. That was phenomenal.
That was a good fun ride.
I cannot include that, but like they just ramped up the scale so much with Marvel shows that's like let's dial it back down to like Hell's Kitchen, small, like that's
not
like,
even all of New York City, just like one borough, not even like a real borough, honestly, just like a few blocks each way.
A good story doesn't have to be universally threatening.
Yeah.
Like Loki was good, but like the stakes were so high. Like he turned into like the master of time or some stuff like that. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers.
But
that's why. And I think that I don't mind when things are such huge stakes, but I do like when there's variation in stories, because that's how the Marvel comics are, is that we have grounded stories. We have Punisher and Daredevil who stay close to the ground, like literally, because they can't fly or anything like that. They don't have jets. So they handle street level crime. And then we also have characters like Vision, Iron Man, who handle like world threatening problems, timeline threatening problems. So like, I like that they do both.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
that's a good perspective.
They don't do both super well now. And I just feel like the Disney now that is in control of the Marvel universe would never release the Punisher. They probably even wouldn't release Daredevil. For sure, not Punisher, because all he does is like shoot guns and kill people. But like, they've taken the teeth out of so many characters that they just wouldn't be able to create a good story because they would want to change too much from the original source material, which I hate, as I've already said in this own podcast. I hate when they do that.
I mean, they're kind of backed into a corner because they're doing like Young Avengers type stuff and like.
Oh, they're for sure doing Young Avengers.
I mean, I'm sure there are people interested out there, but like not at the level of like the other Avengers and like Infinity War and stuff. Like,
and I've purchased many, many Young Avengers comics. It's Young Avengers, especially that they're trying to create right now with the characters they are adding. I've read so many of those comics, but even I'm not that interested in like Young Avengers stuff. I do. This is one thing we should talk about, and I don't even know if you're fully aware of it, so this may not like make a lot of sense to you, but they had a reveal at Comic-Con of a person taking off the Doom mask, and it was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And so what a lot of people are theorizing is going to happen is with this run of comics where I think they're thinking Superior Iron Man. I think I talked to you about it briefly. It's like a whole thing where Red Skull like flips people from being heroes to villains, and then Iron Man is obviously really smart. So when people get flipped back, he makes sure he doesn't get flipped back. He just pretends that he was flipped back. And so like, is that going to be...
That'd be nuts.
Or, is it going to be that version of Iron Man? Is it going to be Robert Downey Jr. in another universe as Tony Stark, who becomes Doom? Like, because we've already established this multiversal thing, it could be that, which also has precedence in the comics. Like, the Ultimate Universe was a whole different thing from the regular Earth 616. So could do a couple different things there where Robert Downey Jr. just might be like, I'm coming back. I'm going to be in more Marvel movies. A lot of people could hate it. I don't hate it. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy. He does such a great job.
He's great. He's super good at being a smart guy.
Super good. And the dialogue. He's really good at doing dialogue.
I mean, he's a top-tier actor.
That's for sure.
Well, I think we're running out of time here, so let's talk a little bit about what our next steps are in the game.
Vampire Janitor next steps. I mean, I need to do more marketing things. I need to edit more YouTube shorts.
I think you have all the content you need to do those, though.
Yeah. I just have to do it. I have to sit down, start cutting up, start laying tracks, start doing all the things, and then start releasing it.
Time-taking or time-consuming.
Yeah, just the manual tasks of marketing. I also do need to, still on my plate to do, is wireframe the story so that as you're creating the levels, okay, here's what needs to be included in this level, here's what needs to be included in that level. Still haven't freaking done that, so that's all the to-dos. Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm going to continue to try to push out a level 1 prototype. The roadblock's probably going to be art, of course, but I'm gonna try to not be a perfectionist on it. And if I make something that doesn't look perfect, at least I can get something going on the screen so we can actually start doing the gameplay.
Yeah.
So my really goal is to even if it's not very good art, just get it done and
it could be a placeholder.
Focus on the utility.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you can always change those things later.
Yeah.
So that's my goal, is to finish the level 1 prototype. I'm going to call it the tutorial level prototype.
Yes.
Level 1's a bit bigger, but yeah, so that's my main goal. And I think I can do it. I just need to put more time into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Time. Kronos, help us.
Our main goal in life is to move successfully and get organized.
Oh, yeah, I guess we will. That's another thing. The rest of this week, we say have all of these goals, but what we really need to do in real life is, pack and move and get things set up. So it's just
and then by that time, we're recording our next episode.
Yeah, and then we'll just be right back here being well, another week of not getting everything done.
Well, isn't that just the way things go?
Seems to be.
Yeah, but we'll get it done. I mean, what's our ultimate goal for our, like, alpha? At this rate, I don't know if we're going to make it by January. Because that was our original thought, like, we're going to get this thing done by January. But, like, I haven't put enough hours in. I guess if I started putting way more hours in, I could probably do it. But.
Yes, but we'll still shoot for January. A goal should be big and bold, and also make sense. I don't know. You want to do a SWOT analysis?
SWOT analysis?
Yeah.
What in the world is that?
Jared, he's like, I've hidden corporate resources all over the apartment.
Oh my gosh, I love Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that's like whenever we need like a little bit more inspiration to keep going, we just put that on. That's
and
why
funny,
I put that on last
and
night.
Funny in our life. Yeah, so great show, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, Silicon Valley.
If you haven't checked it out, what are you even doing with your life, honestly? Though Mythic Quest might be more apt show for what we're doing. Yeah,
we should probably. I mean, I was thinking about that the other day. Like putting on Mythic Quest is kind of inspirational because they, it's a story, but they created a game studio from the ground up, and that's what we're doing. So,
and there are,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. But there's also stories of multiple game studios in that story overall. So that's kind of fun. And it also has the actor from Amadeus.
Oh,
yeah. I love that.
Oh man, yeah, it's a good one. If you haven't checked it out, check it out.
Check out Silicon Valley. Check out Mythic Quest. Watch Amadeus. So there's, if you haven't done those things,
and then just Attack on Titan, Daredevil. Like, I mean, we got a slew of shows that we could talk about for a long time, probably.
Yeah, for a very long time. But
here it is. So we've come to the end of episode 4.
The episode 4. What are we naming it?
Oh man, Alex Strauss's feet. I'm just kidding.
That's so genius, but we probably won't.
No. I don't know. We'll have to think about that.
I'll do it off mic. We usually do it on mic, but
I can't think about it.
We mostly
talked about WoW.
Will have to be something to do with mice.
Yeah. No, I think we're dead on we're dead on air, right, so we can't get it.
Just come on.
We'll figure it out.
Sorry.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to Raid Buff.
Yeah, until next time.
Until next time, this is Tennyson.
And Akia.
Take it easy.
Bye.